Hello, everybody. Welcome to Intimate Cello. My name is Ruti Celli. I'm your host for this evening. And we are in a sacred space right now with this beautiful instrument that is very heart bass, heart frequency, heart opener, which is something that I've been very, very blessed with since I was very young. And I'm a classically trained cellist who embraced connecting music with consciousness and spirituality and love and integration into the heart space. And I've been really blessed to get to know a lot of different styles, a lot of different genres of music. And one of my passions that I've discovered over the years is for composition, but more specifically to composition on the spot, which is basically improvisation. So today, everything that's going to be shared here with you is improvised on the spot while the cello is tuned to 432 hertz. And 432 hertz, in case you are not familiar, is a really beautiful tuning system, very easy to get to achieve that just by tuning it slightly differently to what we normally listen to on the radio. And it happens to be aligned with the vibration of the earth. So we can actually take this beautiful frequency while we listen to it and internalize this experience through the body. And so this invitation today is to really enjoy the presence of being together in this quantum level, right? We're in the quantum field, all of us. We're connecting through cyberspace, but we're actually realizing and remembering that we are always connected. Because when it comes to channeling, and improvising is actually channeling, it's being in the vortex of being that portal that you get to effortlessly be that channel of music that comes through. And so as we're in the space, we're actually feeling one another. So the invitation is for you to just sit back and relax. This was just a little, tiny little demonstration just to give you a little bit, tiny little bit of an idea. But we're going to dive into the music. And I invite you to sit comfortably, if you can. Create yourself a space where there's no distractions, where you can close your eyes. Preferably, if it can be on the earth, that's even better. But you can just go ahead and sit wherever is comfortable for you, and maybe bring some incense, bring a candle, bring some water, bring your journal, because you might want to write your experience as it's happening. And yes, just dive into this. This is a sound bath, so we're going to be bathing in the frequency of 432 hertz. And after the first piece, I'm going to speak a little bit more about the experience. And then we're going to dive into a few more pieces where we get to really deeply connect into what's coming up for ourselves. And just be present with the music, be present with yourself, and experience this level of intimacy through cyberspace. So, what you're witnessing is creativity on the spot. It's very exposed It's very unexpected. And the beauty of it is the vulnerability. That's why it's called intimate cello. The message here is that vulnerability is truly a strength, even though we can't really guarantee. You cannot guarantee when you're vulnerable. If you want to live a life that's always very known upfront and secured, and it's pretty, like the idea that we can control, right? There's an element there that can be quite deceiving. And we're living in a world that expects us to show up in a way that's reliable, that's really consistent, and it also looks good. And obviously, we want to be professional. We want to be, taken seriously. But think about the fact that in between that, when it comes to us wanting to come to show up on that level, it can create a lot of anxiety. And so in my personal journey, I discovered that one of the ways for me to deal with my anxieties of how the world wants me to show up is by giving myself permission to actually be imperfectly perfect. Meaning, the way that you show your vulnerability and the way that you can really tap into what it takes to live this life. I don't know that we're showing enough or sharing enough or really teaching the value of vulnerability in life so that we can actually embrace the process and embrace the beauty of the unknown. So intimate cello is an invitation for that. And there's a reason why it's very real for me to share this. It's very raw because I put myself on the spot as a performer. And the intention is to really show in the process of creating, in the process of you're making stuff up on the spot. You actually have to tap into trust and into presence in order to really to relate to the others and to make this something that is attractive, quote unquote, right? And so in that process, there's a lot of internal death, an ego death, if you will. And this is an art form that's really created intentionally created for healing of oneself. And so what I'm sharing here is an opportunity for you as you're sitting with the music, as you're opening yourself up to the sound vibration, which, by the way, activates our creativity and our intuition and our trust in ourselves, because it's connecting us to what we are, which is part of the cosmos. That's what the right side of our brain is responsible. And so whether you're aware of it or not, as this vibration is activating you, you're having it's already working out in itself, if that makes sense. And so this is quite the journey. Intimate cello can be such a beautiful message and such a beautiful experience to be shared. And so I'd love to continue and play some more. And I'm going to go for 2 more pieces back to back. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to share what's coming up for me as a result of those pieces. Thank you. So, just want to say thank you, first of all, for being here, for witnessing this art. This very beautiful, vulnerable, exposed art that connects us all in a really beautiful, special way. And the offering I have here is for everyone who feels called to step into the zone of self-acceptance and also of like recognizing the power of vulnerability and what you can do with it. Because it's one thing to get things done perfectly in the moment. And another thing is to realize that you have visions. You have big visions. And to get this vision, to share this vision and to really go for it, it takes a lot of trust. And trust is not something that you can command. Trust is something that you build from putting yourself on the spot. And so, for example, I never prepare for these experiences. The live streams is all about throwing myself in the spot and just totally being in the moment. And you see me like a lot of times I'll put my hand on my heart because I feel like this is where my truth is in my heart. Because I know that I can't control everything. I just can't. I don't even want to anymore. And the teaching here is, how do we share this beauty, this really I find it so in my life as I get older. I find tremendous value in very, very vulnerable, open-hearted, real, raw, authentic friendships, for example. And I just felt called to connect to an audience on this level. This is truly the essence of intimate cello and why it was born and what it's for. Because from the mind, it's hard sometimes to know this, you know. We like things to be very defined, very specific. That's very left brain. Left brain is all about the logic. Everything has to make sense. It has to be organized. It's all based on us past experiences. And here comes the right side of our brain, which is truly all about the new, the unknown, the unexpected. So this is where intuition comes in, where trust comes in, where our creativity is really thriving. And so intimate cello is a space for inspiration. It's intended for inspiration. So I facilitate sound baths for individuals, for couples, for groups, and you can look it up. It's truly intended for us to connect together in the quantum field. And so I have an offer for the community, which I'm really called to share, that's about sitting together with this experience and actually sharing what's coming up for us. And I work also with individuals on a one-to-one level where it's really the vulnerability you can get to share with me what's coming up for you. And I can channel your vibration through music, and you get it back, and it feeds you back, and it can give you so much information through the field. And so you can check that out. Also, I have quite a bit of music that you can tap into in 432 hertz to really understand, or more than understand, actually, it's feel in your body. You feel what you can experience with 432 hertz, because we're not really programmed to feel in our bodies. We're more programmed to think and to be activated through our minds with 440, which is what we listen to in the radio and in the music industry and everything that's produced and published these days. So I invite you to take that this link and to really check, just sit with the music and see what you're feeling when you listen to 432 hertz. And close your eyes. Close your eyes and give a chance to a different level of expansion that you may not be familiar with. And music is magical. Music is so magical. It will take you places that you won't, as I'm sure you know, you won't expect. And yes, I'm also I share a lot of my art already in Sonoma County. I perform locally here. If you like to look up my upcoming concerts, that you can come and experience this art, and you can be present with it if you like. If you're local to Sonoma County, I also sometimes get to share this on my YouTube page, which you're welcome to check and subscribe. Also, I have a Linktree page, which I invite you to check, which is basically, it will give you the overview of everything that I do, which is production, performance, 432 hertz, healing frequencies. I have a blog. I write about, consciousness and matters of the heart. And I share my inner dialogue a lot. And that's something that intimate cello is really intended for as well, because music is such a beautiful medium for sharing. It's kind of hard to explain in words, really. So that's why we have it, you know. And it's very healing. And so I feel really, really fortunate to have this medium of expression and to bring it to you and to expose myself this way and encourage you to do the same with whatever it is that you do in your life. Put yourself on the spot and learn to enjoy it. Learn to embrace the fear of the unknown and see your powers. We're so capable. Humans are just majestic beings, and we're built to have that capacity to create miracles. That's what the right side of the brain is helping us with. And this art form is really created to bring back the balance between the left and the right side of the brain. I'm intuiting that we're living in a left brain dominant world. And so this was my call-in, my innermost call to really integrate everything that I have in my life. What have I studied? What have I learned in my life? And how can I bring this in the most authentic, loving way? And that was the birth of Intimate Cello. And it's a really beautiful opportunity for me to learn more, you know, about the power of the mind and why am I here? You know, what is my purpose? And so thank you so much for witnessing this art and for the opportunity to compose for you, which is always really amazing. And it's such a powerful experience for me to see where I'm actually at within me and have like this challenge of actually walk the talk, to be really present. It takes practice and it takes guts, you know, and lots of trust. So I'm going to check out the timing, because today, by the way, we're we've had a previous live stream for 90 minutes, which is what I think is a good length for a session, because I wanted to give the viewers an idea of what the session is like. Today we're giving 60 minutes because we wanted to kind of give you more of an opportunity to really catch everything, because sometimes it's hard to contain everything in 90 minutes. But in a session, it's definitely recommended because it takes some time to tap in for both of us and to really anchor and get grounded in this experience, because there's a lot of channeling happening. It's very sort of airy, and what needed to happen also is our ability to get into the body. So I'm going to share something that's quite maybe it's too early to share, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be adding some breath work into this experience, which can help us all to also be more in the body, which I think is phenomenal. And Intimate Cello is it's intended to be a co-creative experience. And something that I've been mentioning in my posts and in my emails, if you have received them or seen them, is that this is intended also to be a co-creative art for the sake of prosperity and abundance, because you can actually host an event and we can help each other to get excited and motivated to bring people in. Together we can prosper and thrive doing this and bringing this to the community and enjoying the process of this expansion, because it's all about expansion. It's about seeing ourselves bigger than we are. You know, that's what I feel like the right side of the brain. Every time I tap into this level of trust within myself, I feel like I'm growing and expanding. And so that's really my intention, and to bring this to the public. And so if you look into, I have a discovery call that you can have with me. It's one of the offers that I have. It's a 30 minutes free call where we can talk about ideas of what we can do together I recommend you to have an experience as well before you even dive into facilitate it for the community, so that you can really internalize this and share this with others. So I'm really looking forward to sharing more of that with you, and to give you more, just to give you more, and to connect with you. It's so much about connection and about intimacy and about vulnerability. And so let me check again what time it is. We have 10 more minutes. So I'm going to dive into one more piece so we can kind of really give it our all. And what I want to invite you to do is to, while you listen to this, imagine that you're listening to the soundtrack of your life. And the way this goes is, I can feel your presence. I don't need to know who it is. I just know. I know the energy. So I channel that energy back in music. And so what your presence is giving me is coming back to you in music. And so you can take that in, listen to this, and imagine you listening to the soundtrack of your life. And you're also welcome, by the way, to journal. This is one aspect that I think is going to be very helpful, is to tap into what comes to you, because many times there'll be downloads, because you're connecting with your higher self in this experience, being that it's the expansion and activation of the right side of your brain. So feel free to write if you're getting any downloads, if you're feeling something is coming through for you very clearly. All right. So thank you for being here and for witnessing Intimate Cello. I'm really grateful for you being here and for experiencing this new healing art form that's a cross between performance and healing. And do feel free to check out the links that have been shared for either the offers, the experiences, the learning about my past, what I've done as a performer, so you know a little bit more about me. And just feel free to connect. That's another really important part of it that I would love to invite you all, is to connect with me directly and to really feel comfortable and at ease with just sharing how you're feeling and what's coming up for you. This would be absolutely epic and beautiful and wonderful way for me to be vulnerable and to invite you to be vulnerable as well if you feel called. And I will be hosting this again in a week from today. And if you like to join my mailing list on my Linktree page, please feel free to do that, because I will be able to share with you all of the information about the upcoming events. And I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you.